Last episode, we were able to successfully complete the Great Sky Island without being seen by a singular enemy, as well as reach the point of unlocking the Regional Phenomenon quest, marking all of the available dungeons for us to conquer unseen. Also, if you're new here and did not catch part 1, I highly recommend reading the rules in the comments. I wanted to make this as difficult as possible, and with that out of the way, for the first Regional Phenomenon we will be taking care of, shout out to these people on screen for figuring out the hint at the end of last video. I'll make sure to make it harder this time round. And yes, that 30-second intro took me 4 hours to animate. In fact, you could say it took up to 12 hours if you include the making of the logo itself, finding Sonic in the Black Knight emulation that isn't taken down, then dumping the textures, then sorting through all the textures, then animating it. Don't ever tell me I don't put effort into the craft that is YouTube, because I put in too much effort. Loafing aside, Lonk makes a quick rest stop in the emergency shelter bed, resting us to the morning to where, once more, we will be pursuing the wind-related ability as our first to aid us in our traversal both above and beneath Hyrule. So taking to the skies, we depart in pursuit for the Knight of the Wind, Tulin. We have just barely enough stamina in order to make our way to the Ishodag Shrine, which inside does not have any enemies, rewarding us with one of the many Light of Blessings we'll need if we want to be able to get both the Master Sword as well as the 5th Temple. A little whiles further, we encounter the Hinox of Korok Bridge, a formidable foe with an exploitable weakness due to its slothful slumber, that being stealth. And with the maneuver known as crouching and being quiet, Link can pillage the weapons off its neck by climbing aboard its hand as it goes to scratch its stomach. Okay, as I was trying to say, climbing aboard on its hand as it goes to scratch its stomach, granting us access to the stash of gear strung across its neck. And by creating a manual save, if we have to reload it, we can keep all of the gear without awakening it from its slumber. Great job, Sir Link. Hunting some wild game for money and not food because this mythical video game creature does not make any sense later, we idiotically break our winged shield while stumbling across the new Serene Stable, where its shrine, Shinakawak, proves useful with the lack of enemies, giving us a 2-shrine streak so far that we were able to do successfully unseen. Let's see how high we can get that. What's with this old lost child? Oh, it's Impa. I didn't realize her legs actually functioned. Well then, Impa tasks us with solving the mystery of the glyphs. But first we must aid by reassembling her blimp, which only took me a couple of seconds. It took me 5 minutes. I may be stupid. So we take Impa out to dinner in the sky. You know what? That's understandable, Link. Wait, did she crash the air balloon? How did she return to the ground so fast? There's no way she's still alive, right? But honestly, valid reaction to being turned down by Link. But returning to the glyph, we unlock our very first glyph-related flashback. Well, it's not our flashback, because it has nothing to do with us, where we learn Zelda has been isekai'd to the Hyrule of ancient times and meets Sonia, and not Ghost Gokai. Kuya! With the first part of Impa's quest finished, she tells me to meet her at the Forgotten Temple and hands me another quest regarding the Dragon Tears. Wait, reptiles can cry? Oh cool, according to the not Google AI, because screw that, reptiles can in fact, per se, cry even if it's not in the human emotion way. But not ready to get off track just yet, return to the Regional Phenomena quest. And once atop the rock, look, a wild Hestu quivering in fear. Well, that can't be good. And using the skill known as having a memory in my brain, I remember this being the introduction to the Evermean. And I only know now that they actually have a name since I always referred to them as evil trees. But I just can't let Hestu be tormented till the end of time, so being the chivalrous knight I am, get stealth archering once more with fire fruit to turn the Evermean back to the dirt they once sprouted from. And due to my vigilance in removing the trees before chatting with Hestu, he now seems schizophrenic, as there is no issue to begin with, and with the power of psychosis, he can use his maracas and poop from trees to expand both my bow and my shield slot. Not sure why I didn't pick 2 bows since they're far more important to the challenge, but we live and learn. And would you look at that, we're hanging on to the edge of tomorrow. It's almost midnight. Of course, the tower's right there, so now would be better than ever to unlock it, and just like Team Rocket, a rock shows up out of nowhere to ruin my day. So avoiding the rock, we get building the first of many bridges to cross otherwise inaccessible gaps due to lacking the ability known as smartness. Blasting off once more, after unlocking our second tower, we use the height to continue our way to Rito Village via gliding and falling, as well as marking another glyph that we will need to unlock. Oh, well, isn't this interesting? One of the handful of diving minigames that unlock a variety of rewards. So, of course, in need of hearts and stamina, give it a shot, and in doing so, unlock another shrine for us to do. Combat training, nope. That's all I need to read. Sorry, Link, this one is off limits. Seems our top shrine streak is currently 2. That's disappointing. But hey, there's another one down there. How about we give that one a go too? Couldn't hurt to try, and I also spotted another glyph. And I was right, this shrine did not, in fact, hurt to try, as I was able to cheese it by using recall and not actually do all the puzzles to get the orb into the hole, granting us another yeah you get it at this point. Still not knowing the strat on how to spot the evil trees or not, I decided the best way to not deal with them is to simply not go near trees. I know, I'm so smart. Leading us to the canyon to be crossed with our handy dandy paraglider, and then to avoid more monsters, climb up around the side of the mountain because enemies can't spawn there. And how am I rewarded? With an Addison quest? Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. And what does he give me? Cold resistant food. Wow. And believe it or not, this isn't even the best item he gives me. He is the goat later down the line. Sure is a lovely day, Link. Almost time for your lunch break at 12. All you need to do is cross this gap, and once you land, you can take a break. What? Why is there a blood moon? It's 11 in the morning. Okay, I have no idea how this even happened or what triggered it. Maybe it's a blood sun? Link, did you pay Ganon to do a blood moon? Wait, no, you're right. What was I thinking? That's such a dumb question to ask. We were able to easily climb all the way to unlock the Oromuak shrine with the fire fruit, and it was yet another simple shrine. Wait, Link, why are you on top of the pillar? I mean, sure, it's cool, but we don't have time to waste. Well, we do, but we shouldn't. And from the shrine we were just at, we can easily glide down to this not stable, the Lucky Clover Gazette, which we won't do any of their side quests because I don't care. Okay, so the path to Rito Village is just gone, so I must figure out another way to get there. Let me think. Link, you absolute genius. So we do just that, and very, very, very carefully cross the gap so Link doesn't freeze to death in the cold waters below, and holy crap, can I just say how satisfying this ice is? I couldn't stop but help it force Link to break every single one of these as we got closer to the village. It's so beautiful, so dazzling. I love it. And so does Link because I'm holding him at arrow point to say he does. Another small detail I really appreciate is how the snow in important places no longer slows Link down. Wow. Like here in the village, Link can move at full speed despite him not wearing the snow boots. And since we have 4 Light of Blessings, we unlock our very first stamina upgrade, coming in clutch later down the line because wow, I underestimate how important stamina is in this game. As for the Rito Village shrine, well, let's just say skill issue on my part made it harder than it needed to be. Around 3/4 of the way through, there are 3 constructs that patrol and block the path forward. But if you use the wind to your advantage as well as bullet time, you can easily remove all 3 and collect the Light of Blessing unseen. And finally, it's time to meet up with my stupid chud son that I hate, Tulin. And being the chud son that I hate, immediately leaves at the sight of Link, unlocking the quest Tulin of Rito Village. And since his parents don't like to take responsibility for their child's poor mental health, tasks Link with finding him instead. So that's exactly where we go. We make sure to burn this whiz robe at the stake for being a whiz robe that I hate, help Addison once again to get some cold attack boosting food, and ask Hearth to be Tulin's therapist, in which he tells me to leave and never come back. Nice. Shield surfing up the mountain, we spot some ice keys and I think, oh, well there's this fire, let's rest the morning and make them go away. Wrong. They stayed. Okay, well it seems I'll have to be extra careful. Okay, so I have no idea what actually spotted me here, but battle music played, so I was forced to reset back to the fire we conveniently rested at not even 5 minutes ago. The Sahiro Shrine once again proved to be helpful since the only task is to dodge some death lasers using our abilities and unlock another Light of Blessing. Nice. Since we were already here, I glide down to the Rossborough Pass Skyview Tower, probably butchered that, launching Link once more into the stratosphere because I can, duh, and in order to get the shrine we saw, I used the Zonai device that was placed here, which I do not qualify as a flying machine. It's more like an elevator powered by fire, leading us to the Ijo-O shrine. There were some pesky constructs hiding around corners, but as per usual, since it's just 2, I was able to remove them unseen. Then the one at the end you can just run by, fuse the rocket, and launch yourself up if you're sneaky enough, and collect the Light of Blessing. Yay, more gambling! This is why this game was nominated for Game of the Year, the thrill of never getting your money back and having the chance to win. Okay, but on a real note, do not gamble. It's no bien. Now this is the moment I tell you I got lost. I know I claimed to have a memory earlier, but my memory only memorizes so much, this not being one to be memorized. So here is a Tabantha region wandering mini montage because I said so. Yeah, I was lost a little longer than I really should have been, but I'm stupid, so that's nothing out of the ordinary for me. Now, this part is simple. Just snipe the Aracuda and Tulin gets his bow back. Fantastic. And what's not fantastic is now there are reinforcements here to get revenge on us killing their pet bird. And as soon as the cutscene ends, the battle starts. Well, poopy doopy, this isn't good. It appears I must come up with some sort of strategy to deal with these bokos without their sights catching Sir Link. So now it is time to do what I feared most, plunge into the depths. Oh, yeah, thanks for warning me. Wouldn't want Link dying on us now. Okay, dude, maybe don't talk to me while Link is standing on it. Okay, this is overkill. I know it's bad. Just let me do the bad thing. I don't care. The Shape Rotation Shrine. I don't think I need to elaborate. Now, this is the moment I feared most, as stated before, the depths. And with the rules set in place, once I head in, there is no fast traveling out. We must find a way inside the depths itself in order to escape the absolute darkness. Are you ready? Oh, he's already jumping in. Well, it seems there is no backing out now. Now, to some of you, the reason I came down here might seem obvious. I am here for the one and only Puff Shroom, one of the most powerful items for this playthrough, but far from a get out of jail free card, as getting them is already a hassle and a half, and their spawn is just kinda wherever they feel like it, or so that's how it feels. But after searching for a good 4 minutes, there it is, the legendary Puff Shroom. And while I'm down here, might as well grab as many as I feel necessary. So many more resets due to BS monster spawn later. I had a handful of shrooms ready to be puffed. Now we need to find a way out of this hellhole, and let me remind you, I've played this game once. And not just that, I'm not gonna look up a guide on how to get out. I wanted to figure this out myself, so I got lost for 30 minutes. Okay, how come I can ascend through this guy's butt but not to the surface?
Surprise!
You know someone is desperate once they start climbing the light route. Now all the way up to the top where nope, ascend still doesn't work due to no solid ground. Maybe this massive tree? Even the highest and flattest point on this massive tree did not provide escape. Maybe it's Jover. Truly, this can't be the end. While atop the tree, a strange rectangular shape catches Link's attention, and grasping at straws, we travel towards this unknown spire in the darkness. As we get closer, the lights become visible. This is it. This is the key out of the depths. One of the few and far between dedicated spots to use Ascend. After all of this wandering, as well as a few more stupid encounters, we can finally escape without being seen. As well as have a handful of puff shrooms. So of course, I mark it on my map exactly where the exit is for any and all future plunges into the darkness. While at the bridge of Hylia, I spot another glyph, so that is exactly where we go next. Wow. Take out a Lizalfos and get another memory. Spoilers ahead if you haven't played this game, but watch this video for some reason, just don't, duh, unless you don't care. Sonia's dead, that's the memory. With the puff room stored on Link's person, who knows where, we return to the Lin and get testing whether my time in the depths were for benefit or for waste. Fortunately, while on the platform, the thief Aracuda does not worry about us at all, not knowing that we are even below it and plotting its downfall. So I throw Puff Shroom and use Lock On in order to hit it while not being able to see atop this silent hill, and after the cutscene is done, none of the Bokoblins were able to see through the fog and spot Link. Nice. Chat, I figured it out. But there is still more testing that needed to be done, as I both did not know how long Puff Shrooms lasted, nor did I know that using a second one on an arrow changed places where the smoke would be only to where the second one is, completely making Link visible, which is, bad. Second attempt I tried standing in the smoke and bowing them, but again proved to not be helpful with being fully concealed. Now for the third, I decided to hide and Link fell off of the tower. You know what, that could be worse. So we send back up while none of the Bokos are facing our direction, then use another Puff Shroom to confuse them, and we try to bow them again, which doesn't work. Fourth attempt, instead of falling like an idiot, I have Link climb down to where he can have more control to where he ends up going, and unfortunately, Tulin won't take out any enemies unless they are aggroed towards us, so the sages are mostly useless unless I am using their abilities. And Link just fell again. Why do I trust you to do things right? Bokos are, thankfully, stupider than Link, not knowing how to patrol properly, and after shrooming them, choose to hide behind this wall and be patient with the bowing rather than rushing while the puff is active. And this is where I can tell you that this is the run. I was able to get Link to take out all of the Bokos without any of them catching a glimpse of him, finally letting us continue the main story. Like and subscribe. Must have been the wind, I agree, Tulin, that was weird. Fun fact, even after all of this talking, the smoke Link threw down persists and even scares Tulin's therapist for some reason. But this was confirmation on how powerful the Puff Shroom will be in future nightmare encounters. Naturally, it's gonna get cold, so I go to purchase some cold armor and holy crap, these prices! I mean, I get that we're broke, but mamma mia, screw it. Who needs cold resistant armor when you have archaic warm greaves? Am I right? Oh hey Tulin. Now what I wasn't ready for was the biggest betrayal in gaming history. While working on getting to the Wind Temple, I spotted a descending rock from the heavens above, so naturally I think, oh I can recall this to get greater height and make it easier to get there unseen. Apparently Tulin hates rocks, or magic powers, or Sky Islands, or all three, because he just decided to dip for some reason. Well, getting to the Wind Temple without him shouldn't be too bad, right? It seems being alone inevitably happens with Link, like it's some sort of alone infection that keeps reoccurring, forcing Link to trudge on without any companions, so that's exactly what he does through the entirety of the Wind Temple. We did get to crash at some random person's cabin, not saying hi to any of them and going straight to hitting the sack by their fire, but first, before we can even do the temple, unlike Breath of the Wild, we actually have to put in effort to get to our destination, and without the Knight of the Wind by our side, this made getting to the Wind Temple even harder to do unseen. But as you already know, I don't give up easily, and if you're new here, I don't give up easily. And the Rising Island chain did, in fact, prove to be quite the challenge. The Aracudas outside were actually the easiest of it. I was warned by someone that they could be one of the worst enemies for this run, but so far they've caused almost no issues and will continue to be that way. Honestly, I was actually surprised how far I was able to make it without the power of Tulin's gust to cross the fairly large gaps. In fact, I was surprised I was even able to make it to the first shrine, but first, parkour. The mayonnaise shrine was simply a tutorial with the singular construct, nice and easy, and now it's time for things to get serious. We have our first singular construct obstacle, which isn't an obstacle, it is just to wait 5 seconds for it to move and obliterate it. But soon arises a new problem. 2 constructs at a great distance guarding the path forward, as well as I can't climb around them due to the lack of stamina. I really wanted to see if I could take them out for more materials, but alas, there was another path to the left that was far simpler, except that's not true. As soon as Link pops his little twink body out of the ground, another construct is quick to be surprised by his presence. Taking out this construct stealthily for a 3rd time, the left path is once again the one I choose, this time being a 5-year-old and playing with building blocks to allow Link the necessary height to ascend higher to a new spot, letting us continue undetected. And now the platforms are even further apart than before. I must be even more careful both to not let Link fall as well as remain undetected by the increasing number of constructs and Arakudas guarding the temple. While it took 2 attempts, getting past the captain construct can be done, and believe it or not, once again the Arakudas were blind and somehow never noticed Link. I really expected them to actually be a problem in this challenge, but they just kind of exist. The ones ahead also seemed like, well, they'll be the first ones to be a problem. Nope. I just sniped him and learned that this game will auto-collect items for you on specifically this climb to the Wind Temple if they fall down. Now at what was the 2nd checkpoint, I catch some fishes the Unga Bunga way. Hey wait, that's cheating, Link can't swim down. Fish these days, SMH my head. And don't cook them, so I have a little pet fish in my pocket to bring around the world. Since the game gave me the eyes from the Arakudas, I was able to immediately put them to work to take out 2 more of their brethren. Quite the investment, an eye for an eye as I say, or I would say because apparently I didn't actually use the eyes. I could have sworn I did. I somehow just got lucky with their unpredictable movement and made it across unseen. This is where things go simply from being sneaky to full mission impossible. In order to move on completely unseen, Link would need to climb around not 1, but 2 whole groups of enemies, being the most optimal approach to this situation. And the second being particularly tricky due to the great length Link must climb while continually making them suspicious that there is an enemy nearby, since he cannot for the life of him climb quietly. With the patience of a madman, maneuvering Link to remain unseen is indeed possible. And before anyone can say, actually, this is a flying machine, nuh-uh, this is the intended way to progress forward. It's a-okay to be used. Yes! And with all of that, we finally enter the cold part of the region, as well as the Kahatanom Shrine, being our first blessing from the goat. So no surprise, we can grab the Light of Blessing unseen. Since I'm technically in the Sky Islands, I could not fast travel back down to the land of Hyrule due to the rules set in place. So Link simply just needs to jump down until the map transitions, then back to Rito Village, sell our fishy friends that we were gonna take around the world so that we can buy a nice coat, and launch ourselves back into the sky before fast traveling to the furthest point in the Rising Island chain. The rest of the islands were, no pun intended, a breeze to get through, taking all of the mysteriously flying boats' bouncy pads all the way to above the storm, letting us descend down through the legendary Stormwind Arc. But there is one tiny problem. After Tulin dipped, I have no idea where he ended up going. Like at all, and I cannot progress the Wind Temple without him. But even before that, I thought I could at least activate the fast travel, so falling through the ice, I kinda got slightly stuck. The chest contained a nice shield, but getting out was a problem. The only real way out was to use Ascend, and while I can use the frozen time to judge whether escape is possible or not, I still ended up getting caught a couple of times, so I was in a bit of a pickle. Also, not knowing where the enemies were and with how many corners there are around here did not help at all, but of course, with time and patience, I cannot activate the fast travel. Glad I wasted all that time. So I go back to the Mayo Shrine, then further back, and there's my chud son I hate. Welcome back. How did therapy go? Oh, well, he's still hearing voices in his head. No amount of medication will be able to fix him. Finally, with the Knight of the Wind at our side, we return, and wow, the lighting was so much better this time around. This kingdom is gonna bring me to tears at some point, I just know it. Returning to the Wind Temple, we can finally start its trials now that we have brought the Knight of the Wind, who is now hallucinating figures as well. But with my chud son, I can activate the fast travel, finally allowing us to start the Wind Temple. Now we need to find and activate 5 thingamabobs in order to allow the center of the boat to open up, releasing the beast inside. And since there are 5 puzzles and a stupid challenge to play, this took nearly an hour. First things first, adios, choo-choo. Yeah, Link, maybe don't do that. The first thingamabob fan device was by far the simplest to do unseen, and then, once again, spend way too much time taking out a singular construct. As much as I'd like to say I'm good at this game, I'm not. I'm just somehow patient enough to reset a more billion times until I'm satisfied. And I didn't even have to take it out, all I got was an opal. So the roofs is where I head next in order to dive down past some lasers to unlock the second spinny machine device. No, Link, you're not allowed to get launched out of the cannon, that's dangerous. Link, stop, you're getting sidetracked, and then you got seen. This is what you get for horsing around. While the first 2 devices were easy to get, the 3 afterwards are, in fact, much more stupid to get done. Mainly due to these gosh-forsaken keys that just happen to somehow make their way past a freaking weather tornado and into the abandoned flying ship a million miles in the sky without any food or water, but somehow live here and want to have a good look at Link, and this construct that I hate. And there's another captain construct. But remember the last time we encountered one blocking our path? Yep, we're gonna do that again. Ultra handle wall. Yeah, it's that simple. But it isn't even the path forward. I just wanted to grab the rupee because I like money. Wow. For the next, we must dive down below the ship, but nothing in life is free. Except for this content because you guys are spoiled. I mean, what? I didn't say anything. This construct was booty cheeks purely because it moves. If it didn't, it would have been a breeze to take out. But nay, a challenge must have challenging moments after all. Now the last 2 left me mildly perplexed. Is that even a saying, mildly perplexed? Well, now it is, as I didn't know where or how to get to them. Well, that was the case until I found this icy spiky wall. Oh, that can't be good. Also, I'm counting the hostile cannon specifically as an enemy because I can. I shouldn't even have to because it's a building, but I really don't care. I'm counting it. Inside the spike icy side, more keys that, as stated before, should not even be here, and it does not make any sense how they even got here. I know the developers put these here just to screw me over, but I just can't prove it. And now a construct facing our path in, who was totally easy peasy. Oh wait, yeah, you know what? Sure, alright. Why the heck not? Thanks, game. Now we can activate the 4th tornado machine. Only 1 remains, which took me a little too long to figure out where it even was. Turned out I needed to use Ascend in the Captain Construct room. I may lack a section of my brain, but of course, at the very last cycle engine, there is a stupidly placed construct. Nothing new or out of the ordinary at this point, honestly. I'll save you the mumbo jumbo on this one. Distract it with an arrow as quietly as you can, ascend up, then bomb its butt to smithereens for wasting 10 minutes of my time. And now, with the last one activated, only 1 task remains. Finally activate the final terminal, opening up the gate for us to defeat our very first boss, Kogera, the Scourge of the Wind Temple. And while he was a cakewalk, I love how during the second phase, or maybe during the first as well, maybe I missed it, you can damage it without even using a weapon. So naturally, that is how I take it out, turning Link into a human missile, bringing Kogera and the storm over Rito to an end. Now let's just skip the rest of the cutscenes because it's not worth going over, and with Tulin's Secret Stone, we now have the Knight of the Wind's ability with us at all times.
I'm really sorry, okay?
What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
After an elapsed 7 hours and 32 minutes, we finally beat our very first dungeon without being seen. As for the next one we shall conquer,